Wow. Wow.
Woohoo!
See what else is in there? There's a regal spotted bay bass.
Oh, it's huge! Wait, I'm coming over. How did that thing get in there?
I don't know.
Oh! Oh. What a great little bait idea. Woohoo! This is the bait trap that we used yesterday to catch all those fish. Here's the pertinent parts of it. This is the entrance. Can you see this clearly? I hope you can, because I tried to make it clear instead of invisible like it is in the water. This is 1/4 inch hardware cloth. These are imitation fish and some stripes on there that you can see. And in the front, this is the shape that we're after. The entrance is shaped kind of like a funnel. The top, a reinforcement here. The bottom, a similar story. And a really important part is the door. And the door, we put chum inside the door here. We close it up and we latch it up like this. There's a conspicuous white thing on top. That's a direction, an orientation thing, so that if there's some current, this thing will catch the current and orient the bait trap so that the fish who are hanging around pointing themselves upswell, up current, and then this will be facing down current, and that's a theory of why I did that. Hey, let's go make one. I'm tired of just talking about it. Let's do it. This is a 5-foot piece of wire, and now it's folded in half, like so. It needs to be worked over a bit more. By folding it here, I've marked it off, and I'll just sort of fold that in on itself, like so. There she goes. And that's going to be folded in, and it's going to take on the shape of the entrance. And that's one. Then we do the other side. Okay, so we have the pieces that are going to form the entrance bent, and the back of it bent for kind of perspective. And I want to add some pieces of metal along the edge, the absolute edge, right here. And that'll help us in determining the exact width that we want. So I'll just go ahead and kind of like bend it in a bit, and we'll put some zip ties on it. I'm using just 2 of these little squares, and that's a 1/2 inch. And then we'll kind of zip tie in this long piece of scrap metal. Or maybe even use a stapler. I have one, a great big old stapler. That's probably what I'll do, is use a stapler. I've got these 2 pieces of metal on the edges. That's going to help us pull it down to get the exact size that we want. A little hole right here, 5 by 7. I'm going to take that out with a Dremel because I'll be putting my hand in there. I don't want to get scratched. So I'm going to cut out that door. That will give us access to get inside while we're building it. It's all for the best. I've cut the door, it's 5 by 7. The new door will be bigger and it'll overlap all of this and tie it a bit so that it could get opened and closed. And I used the Dremel on this so that my hand wouldn't get so beat up going in and going out. The basic shape is working out beautifully. And now I'm going to attempt to put on top and bottom at the same time. Are now holding up the very ends of the entrance of the trap. To make things easy to put the top and bottom on, I'm just going to give these guys a clamp or two to hold them together close to their ultimate shape. And so here's the two ends here, hopefully you get to see. The two ends here are now going to be clamped like so. And maybe another one, let's see. They're exactly even. So we'll move around and put a couple more on like so. And you can kind of get the idea where we're going with the assembly. Let's take this disc and attach it with a zip tie right here, right at that bent part. That'll give us a nice frame of reference so that we can line things up better. So there is a zip tie there, and that's fine. And then we'll put another couple on there to gain our shape. I'm going to put a zip tie. Put a zip tie, whatever the zip tie is. Okay, so on the bottom or the top, on the other side. Let's call it the other side. And then we'll get this guy started as well. And everybody will be in harmony. Okay, can you kind of see where we're going? I'd like to point out something. You don't have to use zip ties. You can use whatever you like. I noticed at some of the supermarkets they have those little green ties. Shoot, what's the matter with that? Or if you have some leftover pipe cleaners, or even the rolls of hardware cloth are wrapped in some scrap wire. They just expect you to throw it away, but you can recycle it. I just do that a lot. I just use what's available, and I don't think that the bait fish care. And the people that are using your bait, they'll say, "Oh, you're a genius." They won't say, "Oh, you caught something at a discount." Yeah. And try to work this wire around the perimeter of the 17.5-inch disc that we made for the top and the bottom. This is a wonderful thing. It'll change your fishing life. Subscribe. Do it. Thanks. I think it's about time to position this entrance. So I'm going to move this entrance here, about like so. Pull that wire, and let's see, 1, 2, sit about there. Okay, some other one. And we're going to be bending these wires over and having them engage this ends of the entrance here. So these leftover wires are going to be bent and then zip tied over to those parts of the entrance. Hope that makes sense. And we have to make the door. Can you see the door? Anyway, it's there, the door's there. So we'll make that in a bit. And I measured out no particular size, and I decided this might be the right size for the door. And I put some tape on it, and you could see it maybe better. So let's give this a good whacking and see. Hurrah. I think what we'll do is we'll fold it over, give it some strength. One side was folded already from the factory. Now I'm going to use my stapler. You might have to use something stronger. This is the pattern going down. Then we're going to put this on with a few of these zip ties. Since I have access now to the inside and the outside, I'll just put this on loosely. Bring it around inside again. Put this on loose, and then the next stage, isn't that cool, right? Looking good. I've straightened out this little piece of wire. Would you believe that's from one of the whisks that my wife had and decided to give away to Goodwill? I snatched them up because they're stainless steel. All I do to make this latch is bend the ends like so. And then you bend it like so. And you know the whisk is all springy and everything. So when I put it here, well, it goes right in, you see, and goes into the other side, and then I just stick this side in, and it sort of bends down on itself. That's kind of it. And I'm uncomfortable that this is a little bit flexible. On the other one, the one that you saw me catch all the bait, I had some sort of a spiral contraption to stiffen it. But you can use coat hanger wire. Look what I found. This is a pop-up trash can or hamper. Now, here's this thing, and it looks like It looks like we're going to be able to recycle this and use it as reinforcement on that. Wow. Here's this little springy wire. I think I'll come back and try to wind it on. It's been rough here. I found that old trash can, that pop-up trash can, and when I started to mess with it, things started to spring around, and the table kind of fell over, and the cat food cans that I put underneath the legs started to protest and tipped over, and I think didn't they write a song about me? The man of constant sorrow? That must have been me. Okay, but I think it's going to work beautiful. That trash can just seems like the structuralist thing I've ever seen. So I think, I know, it's going to put the idea of coat hangers to shame because it's so beautifully springy. Well, we'll see in a bit. I think that's the best one I've ever made. This entrance here seems so much more sensible than the other one that was kind of rounded and it sort of more pointed. This is going to work really, really good. Okay guys, the last thing is we put that little fin on top, some kind of plastic, a bit of a shape, drill some holes, and stick it on where the entrance is. Put a zip tie, the kind with the holes in it, and that'll pick it up. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me recognition. I enjoyed doing it for you. It'll make you a better fisherman, better fisherwoman. Spend the time, get the bait, and then you'll catch the big game fish. Instead of those little things like that, you'll be catching them, whoa, like that. Thanks for the recommendation. See you again soon. And step by step. And look at this, guys.
We have some fish.
Over. Somehow or other going to get in that tank. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
What about that?
Beautiful.